another day with a bewildering amount of progress. So the engine went in barely 10 minutes. Got it close, manoeuvred it on the jack. Blocks would support the back of the gearbox, and then I had the back of the gearbox tied in properly, so I could see how much it moved. As I jumped up, down on the back of the gearbox, and the answer is not much. So I didn't use up my clearance, so the clearance is still good. I pulled the engine out in under a minute, and it took longer than it needed to because I forgot the handbrake. I didn't have the radio flyer ready, but the crane is really working for me. I'm really pleased with how sturdy this whole framework is as well. So I've been jumping on it and leaning on it and trying to push and shove. And it's peace of mind for the brakes really. So that bracket is really well supported. And then a close look at this Reliant component, that the pedals on a shaft through to where the cylinders mount and stops for how far the pedal comes back, and all the rest of it, all built in. And this thing is proven that it survives neglect, and people go banger racing with it and all the rest. So that's a sturdy component that is really well located. So I'm going to sleep easy that this thing is well up to an emergency stop. Can also triangulate forward for extra stiffness or backwards, but basically it's getting that brake pedal really well mounted. Having done that, I could then start to look at the front, and the first of these plates took most of the morning to make, and then the mirror image took 7 minutes or something because I timed it. So once I've got the pattern, actually doing the cutting, drilling the holes takes next to no time. Then slow down as I start putting bits of cardboard on and working out what reinforcement and solving all sorts of imaginary problems. And in the end I just bent a few little strips of 3mm thick 15mm that I had, which I'll weld in tomorrow if I still think it's a good idea. It's also too late for welding really, but it was kind of solving imaginary problems. So what if the sump fails on here? If it does, I'll grind that off and weld a washer in or put a plate over or whatever. It's deciding what to solve now and what not. And for me, I think it's having solutions up my sleeve if I need them. So if I could imagine that I could solve that problem, then I don't have to do it now. So for instance, things like this engine alignment, I thought I can cut it off and move it sideways if I have to, but the clearance is still alright if I get it pushed far enough to the left. But yeah, brilliant progress, brilliant proof of concept day, especially being able to bounce on the back of the gearbox. All the clearance is still there. I don't have to cut and remake anything.